There are a lot of things you can do to repair your credit. However, there are also a few things you should avoid doing if you want to see results. This video will list things you should not do when repairing your credit score. Follow these if you want to get your credit back on track. One of the worst things you can do when trying to repair your credit is to miss payments. Payment history accounts for 35% of one's credit score, making it by far the most heavily weighted factor when assessing creditworthiness. Missing payments can cause your credit to drop substantially, even if all other factors remain consistent. You can take steps if you're having trouble meeting your payments, such as contacting creditors to discuss potential payment plans. This will demonstrate that you're taking an active role in repairing your credit. Taking proactive steps can help protect you from potentially irreversible damage to your financial standing. Another bad idea when repairing your credit is to max out your credit cards. Credit utilization, which is the percentage of your credit limit that you're using, is another important factor in your credit score. So, if you're using a lot of your available credit, it can hurt your score. Try to keep your credit utilization below 30% and, ideally, below 10%. If you have reached your limit, don't despair. You can pay down the balance and keep a close eye on it to make sure you're not overspending. This is especially important if you're trying to repair your credit. Constantly maxing out cards could negate any progress you make in restoring your credit score. It may seem counterintuitive, but closing old accounts can actually hurt your credit score. That's because it can lower your credit utilization and shorten your average account age, both of which are negative factors in your score. So, unless an account has an annual fee or you're otherwise motivated to close it, it's best to leave it open. This will help you maintain a good credit history and keep your credit score in check. Every time you apply for new credit, it triggers a hard inquiry on your credit report, which can temporarily ding your score. So, if you don't need new credit, there's no reason to apply for it. Just be mindful of how often you apply for new accounts, as too many inquiries can hurt your score. Instead of using new credit cards to finance large purchases, focus on paying off any debt you already owe and establishing good credit habits. These habits include paying bills on time, reducing credit card balances, and not exceeding your credit limit. When done correctly, these steps can reduce your credit utilization ratio and improve your credit score over time. Maintaining a good credit score can be difficult, especially if you are struggling to keep up with credit card or loan payments. However, even as you strive to make timely payments towards credit cards and loans, it is important not to neglect any other debts that may be represented on your credit history. Neglecting these other debts can actually hurt your credit score more than having an overdue credit card payment. While the main focus should be on ensuring all credit cards and loans are paid off promptly, paying off any extra debts, such as unpaid medical bills or leftover balances from utility companies, can go a long way in helping repair your credit score. Focusing on providing a history of consistent payments, regardless of the item billed, is key to repairing and maintaining a healthy credit score. It is important to understand the basics of repairing your credit score, so that you can take effective action and get back on track financially. Making sure you don't miss payments, max out your credit cards, close old accounts, apply for new credit unnecessarily, and neglect other debts are all essential steps when it comes to rebuilding your credit. With patience and diligence, you can restore your credit score and protect yourself from potentially irreversible damage to your financial standing.